Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show today, Around Town with Tom and Jason. My co-host, Jason Shepard.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you again. We have a special guest today.
Yeah.
This guy is a rock star, and I'm a big fan. Pablo Gonzalez of Vendoroo. Welcome to the show.
I am happy to be here. The energy in this room is tangible. I can't wait to get into this.
Wow.
Man.
You can slice it up and serve it in pieces.
Let's do it.
I love it. So, Vendoroo, tell us more about that. What's going down with them?
Oh, man, Tom, property management right now is in this like really unique place, right? Like when contexts change inside of industries, that's when big winners and big losers happen, right? And a lot has changed in property management over the last 4 or 5 years. Post-COVID, Wall Street and Silicon Valley rushed into it, changing the like profile of the operator, right? And the sophistication. The great generational wealth transfer is happening right now. So the customer is changing, right? It's going from boomers to millennials, of people that own these portfolios. And now guess what's coming down the pipe? AI, right?
Yeah.
So what's happening right now in the space is that there's kind of like 3 generations of solutions for property managers. One is what I like to call single family property management friendly, which is like these tools that were there before and people started using them because they were good enough. Then a bunch of solutions that are single family property management native that are made for them, right? Like the Rent Vines of the world, Lead Simple, Second Nature, that these property managers have really been able to take off and run with it, but they were all built before the dawn of AI. Now there's single family home property management native, AI native softwares. And the difference between that and like the original shift is going to be just as big. And the main difference is we're so used to this term called generative AI that ChatGPT made famous, right? It's like a genie. You rub a lamp, it grants you your wish. There's a new type of AI that's now out there thanks to the dawn of the first AI. It's called agentic AI. This isn't a genie. This is like the Terminator that's going to show up to your house but solve your problems, not kill your kid. Right? And these like old softwares are basically like retrofitting the generative AI into their stuff, and it's making it way better. But as these agentic AI solutions show up, and you start plugging them into like the 6 to 7 different core things that that property management needs to do, all of a sudden it is completely breaking the frame of what property managers are able to do, right? Like the capacity of like doors per employee, the expertise of like decision making, how good is it, and the pain of being an owner of the business is going to completely change. And Vendoroo is the first ever agentic AI solution to solve the biggest problem in the maintenance space, which is in the property management space, which is maintenance.
Maintenance. So you're taking in with the AI, let's just call it maximization, optimization. So AI optimization that becomes almost predictive to the needs of the property management solution. So you take a lot of the manual processes out, you take a lot of the mechanics out of it, and you make it streamlined and seamless with less friction. And that means you can optimize and do it times 10 rather than maybe 1.
What I like to say is AI is really good at 2 things. Making the invisible visible and automating mundane tasks.
I like it.
So if you think about it, like what you just said, right? Like you're able to take off all the stuff that like coordination and like, is this person going to show up? And then this really happened and blah, 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 gone. And then making the invisible visible is at the core of like what property managers need to do, right? Because what does a property manager do? They make problems go away. But when do they talk to their client? When there's a problem. So like if I hate talking to my property manager, that's why only 30% of real estate investors use them, right? 70% don't. But if property managers can show up as like, hey, we're going to talk about like strategy and how you build your portfolio, and like let's talk about how we're saving and making you money, instead of, oh hey, time to cut a $7,000 check, and you're showing up prepared to these meetings to justify the spend, to show how it's performing things. That's when AI can really, really move the needle for them.
Jason, give them something good.
So I own a pest control company. We work with a lot of property managers. I've got a girl in my office. We do this a lot. We have to log into a system. We have to submit paperwork every year. We have to renew that stuff. Like, it's a constant struggle. From our side of it, what does it look like? Do you have to be like incredibly smart with computers? Like, how does that process work?
If you had to be incredibly smart with computers, I wouldn't be here, because I'm a tech idiot. But Jason, I'm really glad that you're here, because I think you understand more than anybody that if you have an A+ vendor network,
Yep.
you do not have maintenance issues.
No.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So while I think other people trying to solve this problem are trying to solve it from like the owner standpoint or from the resident standpoint, Vendoroo really understands that the linchpin of this thing is gaining trust with the vendors and making sure that we're putting the vendors in the right place. And the number one thing that you can do that is make it easy.
Yes.
Right? So like if we're making you log into stuff to like and have a bunch of different softwares that you got to do, it's not really going to work for you, man.
Yeah.
So that's why this whole idea of automating the mundane and making the invisible visible needs to happen via text for you, right? It needs to happen via like take a phone pic, send it the way that you would through your phone, not like log into Salesforce or log into a building
100% clunky.
or whatever you got to be doing in order to like make another process, add another piece of friction. We're removing friction for the vendor specifically. That's one of our big advantages.
That's
Vendoroo.
awesome.
Yeah.
Brings the velocity to management. I love it. Well, Pablo, thank you for being on the show today.
Yeah, man.
Jason, great job as usual. Guys, hey, would you like to learn a lot more about Pablo Gonzalez and Vendoroo? Go to dailynewsnetwork.com and cheers.